Well, one of the other reveals that came up,
Mhm.
and this took a while to get to, but I'm involved in all these professional networking groups, and of course, it's all driven by referral, word of mouth, all that kind of thing. Well, fine, okay, I'm participating, but as I started asking clients, how did you find me?
Mhm.
Because I really wanted to know where they started before we hooked up.
Yeah.
And so it started to become obvious that as you get into mid-size, large-size companies, the people at the top, they're not doing any networking.
That's
They're
true.
too busy up to their eyeballs running their business.
Yeah.
They're not going out and having lunches that last 2 hours or going to morning meetings or stuff like that. They're siloed.
That's
And
true.
so when all of a sudden somebody gets to them and says, you've been talking about this for years, you might want to go out and look for some help. And they agree, they finally get to that point where they surrender and say, yeah, I need help. The next question is, who's it going to be?
Right.
And most of them don't have the network. They don't, the old term, the Rolodex, they don't have that.
Yeah.
Usually the third parties that they're already dealing with don't have any real good recommendations.
Yeah.
So they usually hand it off to an executive assistant or somebody in HR, and they say, go out and find me 3 executive coaches. We'll interview them and pick one. Do you know how many people that I have won over the last 8 to 10 years who found me on Google Maps that exact way?
Wow. That's surprising.
That's my number one lead generator, because most people don't have a reference point. So they go on, they just type in Google executive coaching.
Yeah.
And of course, the little map shows up underneath the ads with the little push pins on it. Well, there I am. And so they'll either send me an email or call me and say, hey, can we set up a time to talk? And I'm saying, great, that's exactly what I'm looking for. You don't have to go to my website and fill in the little box. You can call me directly if you want. And so it works quite well, and it's free. Google doesn't charge you for this.
Okay, that's a great tip. I think that everyone listening, you need to do that if you haven't already with your business, because it's true. I'm thinking of myself when I need a service. What am I doing? I'm Googling, and it is kind of what comes up in the maps. I do look at those. I really do. Wow. That's, and it's interesting because for a brick and mortar business that is on, down on the street corner, that makes a lot of sense to have that listing, but you could do business with anyone. You don't have to just do local. So, but you're still benefiting from that. So that is awesome.
So I just dialed my strategy into 3 primary sites: LinkedIn, because it's a business to business site.
Yes.
Google Maps, because it is a local search map.
Yes.
And YouTube, because that's where people can see me and hear me and put the 2 together and figure out, okay, they either like what I have to say and how I say it, or they're going to go to another video.
Exactly.
But if I just keep mixing those 3 around and keep them connected, that's really all I need. That's all I've used for probably the last 5 or 6 years.
Well, and it sounds like it's working. That's a great strategy. And